morning. Hello, good morning. How are you guys? I hope you guys are having a great time. It is your girl, Coach Eli. I'm coming to you live and direct from Maryland. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. I hope it is well with you. And welcome to November. November is my birthday month. I cannot wait. November 15th to be precise. Make sure you reach out and holler at your girl on the 15th of November. All right. So today I want to quickly share with you guys on DNA. That's the topic that I'm going to be talking about today. I had mentioned in the group Facebook, of course, that I will be discussing about this particular topic. And that is because a lot of you have questions and you want to get clarity on what is the requirements. So let's talk about the requirements of offering a DNA services. Okay. Honestly, guys, let me tell you, if you have the enthusiasm, if you know how to relate with someone on the phone, if you know that you can pick up your phone, even if you miss your call, you know that you can return your call, you would do successful. Those are the major requirements for you to do well and offer your DNA services. However, on the other side, I know you want more, right? So there is this question in the group and someone was asking, do you need a certificate to offer DNA services? Do you need to have some sort of qualification or some sort of training, right, to do DNA? Remember, guys, for drug testing, especially for DOT, we need to be certified. We need to take the course tagged DOT specimen collector, right? We need to take that in order for us to be qualified to do DOT. Who knows why? Who wants to take a guess? The reason is because DOT drug test is a federal standard regulated test, right? And the federal, which is the Department of Transportation, they want us to know how to do drug testing in a certain way. All right. So for DNA though, this topic today is DNA, remember. So for DNA, there is no particular training that you have to take. But there is a clause there. There is a but. When you're setting up your accounts with our accredited labs, the AABB accredited lab, remember you cannot run a DNA specimen as a point of care testing because you need to be accredited. Who knows why? Who wants to take a guess? The reason is we have some reasons why we do testing. For example, if you're doing a legal DNA test, you have to do it per standard. There is a regulations for those things. And one of them is that a legal test needs to be conducted and needs to be run or processed in an accredited lab. Those labs have gone through accreditation with the board, right? With the board of whatever, the DNA people. So they are called the accredited. So the accreditation is through an AABB. They've done everything. They've been assigned. They've been vetted. They've been surveyed. All of those things, they've been inspected, right? So that's why we as a DNA broker, when we are trying to partner or when we are trying to run DNA specimen, we need to make sure we are partnered with an accredited lab. So those accredited labs, when we reach out to them to set up our account, they need to make sure that we know what we are doing. So I'm going to break it down some. For example, when you reach out to DDC, that is one of the big guys. That's one of the big guys out there, the accredited lab. We have so many accredited labs. All you need to do is Google search AABB accredited labs and it's gonna give you a breakdown, or go to their website aababaccredited.org or .com. It's an organization and an association, and it's gonna give you a breakdown of even international labs. But remember, let's talk about United States for now. So DDC is one of those big guys. They have contracts worldwide. They offer legal testing, immigration testing. There are so many reasons people do DNA testing. So if you are a broker, we need to ensure you have the proper knowledge, right, to conduct a successful DNA test, especially for legal tests. For example, when somebody comes to your door, when you come to your office and they want to do a DNA test, especially a legal one, there are some things that you need to follow. You need to make sure they have their ID. You need to make sure that they are, the same. We need to make sure that we're following the CCF form. There is also a chain of custody when it comes to DNA testing, especially for legal testing. You have to make sure you get their ID. Everything is, the instruction is there. So in order for those DNA to maintain their accreditation, they make sure that you take their test. It's a test, right? And you have to take the test. For example, like I'm saying, DDC. When you reach out to DDC, even if you go on DDC website, if you go to become a partner, underneath their website, the web page, it's gonna give you the instruction, and there is this examination that you need to pass, at least with an 80 or better grade. So that's the that's once you pass that examination, you will get a notification that you're successful, right? So we need to make sure that you know how to follow those accreditations standards and guide. It's the same thing for Alliance DNA. It's the same thing for Endeavor. It's the same thing for all of these accredited labs, especially for Alliance DNA. When you go through Alliance DNA, Alliance wants you to pay about less than $200. I'm not precise for now. I hear people say $100. I hear some of them saying that $199. When I went to Alliance, I think I paid about $199. And guess what? Alliance gives us credit back, right, towards our first specimen. They do need to put those things in place, especially that learning, so that you will know the protocols and the standards to do a DNA test. How do you label those specimens? How do you get their identification? Do you make copies? What do you do? There are certain things that you need to follow, especially if you're conducting a legal test. Let's talk a little bit about the immigration test. Immigration is another type of legal test, and that needs to be conducted by an accredited lab. Even these immigration lawyers and the immigration courts, immigration system, they actually have preferences. They don't want you to go do DNA testing in anyhow place. They actually have a specific list. So if you're going through an immigration case, they give you a paperwork and they ask you to select per that list. You don't, if you go to somewhere else and you bring them that result, they may not recognize it and it might delay your case. It's the same thing for probation courts. I've done some testing for a court system, and they specifically wrote it on that guy's paperwork and said, go to DDC. Go to DDC to conduct your testing. So they want results from some certain places. So to recap, let's do some sort of recap. So recap here, there is no certain course or requirement that you need to have to do drug testing, to do DNA testing. As compared to drug testing, you need to be certified to do DOT. Even for drug testing, if it's for DOT, if it's for non-DOT, guys, you do not, I repeat, you do not need to be certified, because it is not regulated. You're not required or compelled to do the certification course. But because of business, from the business standpoint, you want to make money, remember DOT is the one that is highly in demand. You want to go to these trucking companies, you want to work with psychiatrists, you want to work with people that are in the Department of Transportation, right? So those agencies requires that you're certified and knowledgeable on how you are supposed to conduct a test. Example, like you already know, there are some things that you will need to follow. When we have problems in drug testing, what do? So those things are the things that we are teaching. So it's the same concept for DNA. It's not, there is no one saying go get a certification, but when you're trying to do some certain testing, like legal testing, immigration testing, probation, child custody type of testing, all of those falls under legal, right? So you need to know what to do. You just don't want to collect someone's specimen and not know what to do, because once you take it back to that lab and you don't follow, once those results or specimen gets to the lab and you're not doing everything, you're possibly going to have a cancer test. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you find this very, very helpful, kindly subscribe and share. I love you, and I'll talk to you again. Remember to go, Coach Eli, coming to you live and direct from Maryland. I love you. Bye.